Mortal Online features a quick in-game menu that explains a lot of the features, which can be accessed through hitting the H key. While this video will briefly cover all of these areas, it's still advised to go through the entire help menu to get your bearings. By default, the Z key switches you from mouse mode to movement mode. In mouse mode, you're able to interact with the menus and windows by using your mouse, but are unable to turn your character. In movement mode, the mouse will rotate your view. By default, pressing X will unsheath your current weapon, be it a sword, bow, or even fists, and allow the player to attack. Akin to a traditional FPS, the shift key is sprint, the spacebar is jump, and the tab key targets players, NPCs, and objects. The R key is used to interact with things in-game, from NPCs, to mounts, to loot, and materials found on the ground. You can alter or view your current keybinds by hitting the Escape key to open the main menu, and selecting keybinds. On the top left of the screen, you will see your personal health, stamina, and mana bar. If you have a pet, your pet's health and stamina will be displayed just below your own. Objects or players targeted through pressing Tab will display by default in the upper right-hand corner, showing their name, health, and flag. Your own flag is displayed in the middle of the hotbar on the top of the screen. The hotbar can be used to access skills, consumables, and even be used to quickly equip and unequip armor or weapons. There are 2 pages of hotbars that can be accessed by clicking the arrows on either side of the hotbar, or through pressing Shift plus the corresponding number of the hotbar. Underneath the hotbar, you will see a group of icons. From the left to the right, these icons correspond to your character sheet, inventory, spell book, book window, skill window, and pet information. The character sheet will display all of the basic attributes of your character, as well as give you a paper doll reflecting your appearance and equipment. Equipped items take up space on the paper doll and do not contribute to the total carry weight of your character. Instead, equipment uses equipment weight determined by your strength and constitution. If your equipment is too heavy for you, you will become progressively encumbered, slowing movement speeds and stamina regeneration. Making gold armor while stylish is very impractical. The inventory button shows your on-hand belongings, and the book window shows the current book you're reading and how much time is left until it's finished. The spellbook window shows each magic spell you can cast and its corresponding reagent cost. Finally, the pet bar allows you to give your pet simple commands just by clicking them. Keep in mind that each of these windows, as well as the pet commands, can be opened or used with keyboard shortcuts as well. The complete list of command shortcuts is available through the Help menu. All new players start out with a fledgling flag, which protects them from being thieved from and taking damage from other players. The fledgling flag will last for 8 hours, after which the player will turn blue. The blue flag is the default state for all players, which indicates that they are innocent. Guards will protect any blue player that types guards in chat while in a guard-protected area. This will only work on gray or red flagged players. Attacking another player or failing to successfully steal from another player will turn a player gray. The guards will execute any gray player they find, and other players will not be penalized for attacking or even killing a gray player. The gray flag will last for 2 minutes, after which the player is reverted back to blue. If a player successfully steals an item, or has an item planted on them, they will turn into a hidden criminal. A hidden criminal will appear blue to all other players, unless attacked or pushed, which will turn them gray. The hidden criminal flag will last for 10 minutes, after which it will revert back to blue. When a player kills a blue player, they will receive a murder count and a stat loss count. Each murder count lasts for 8 hours, and each stat loss count for 4. When any points are added, the counters are reset back to full. After reaching 5 murder counts, the player will then turn red. Red players will be executed by the guards, and thus cannot enter cities without the danger of dying. Once 5 stat loss counters are reached, the red player will begin to suffer stat loss upon every death. If the stat loss counter goes down below 5, the player will stop losing stats upon death, and if the murder count goes below 5, the player will revert back to blue. The last flag to talk about is the local allowed flag, bright gray. If a player attacks anyone flagged as red, they will be flagged as locally gray to that person. At this point, the red flag player may attack and even kill locally gray flagged players with no consequence. The guards will not execute local gray players. This mechanic can be understood as self-defense. If any player assaults another, the assaulting player can be killed without penalty. The local gray flag will last for 2 minutes. Unlike many MMOs, Mortal Online does not have an in-game map. As a new player, you're provided only with a compass and your own sense of adventure. It's up to you whether you choose to explore and learn the world on your own, or use one of the many player-created maps. Be careful as you're out there traveling. If the worst should happen and you die, you'll need to find your way to a priest to be resurrected. While dead, you'll be able to see beams of light in the sky above the priests nearest to you. If you're having trouble finding a priest, then you can also teleport to the nearest priest by hitting P and clicking to nearest shrine, at the expense of your stats. To resurrect, press R to interact with the priest. Be careful, not all priests will resurrect a red or gray player. While you're dead, you will not be able to understand what live players are saying, nor will they be able to understand what you are saying. Only players with a specific magic school can understand what ghosts of other players are saying. Dead players can manifest in the real world by going into combat stance, but only for a limited time. With the basics of the game out of the way, the next episodes will start to deal with the meta-mechanics. Things that are the combinations of things that can be described as how to play Mortal Online. With no direct quest lines to follow, or immediate goals set up in the game, it falls to the player to decide what they want to do. This open freedom often ends up paralyzing. Even though you are able to do anything, many people don't know what they should do. At the same time, while combat can be described as a series of numbers, it's a lot more intricate and best explained on its own. The skill system factors greatly into combat, and only today we have skill builds emerging which were viable since the launch of the game, showing that there's still plenty of space to explore.